So, piracy. Fun topic, isn't it? Well, actually, more specifically, this topic is about anti-piracy. So, piracy is a bad thing, okay? It can be a problem. Though, to quote Gabe Newell on this one, piracy is a service problem. You need to provide a better service than the pirates. And this kind of makes some sense. Which leads me to the anti-piracy methods used by some companies, namely Ubisoft and Electronic Arts. DRM is Ubisoft's answer to solving piracy in the PC games. What it does is that it requires you to have a constant internet connection to Ubisoft servers, even for single-player games. And if, by God, that you're not connected to the internet, you lose connection, or you don't even have an internet, you can't play the game. Period. This is pretty goddamn annoying, and it's a huge inconvenience to people who have paid legitimately for the game. When you inconvenience your customers, you piss them off. And when your customers are pissed off, they will eventually stop buying from you if this shit is not changed. This is basic business 101. DRM does more to encourage piracy than actually prevent it. Why would anyone want to deal with playing an offline game that requires a constant internet connection just to play it? Why would you want to deal with such a pain-in-the-ass system just to play your game, when somebody else in the dark corners of the internet provides a version of the game that doesn't require this bullshit inconvenience? It's a service problem, and if the pirates can provide a better service than you, Ubisoft, then you need to step it up and not inconvenience your customers. And once people see that you can provide a service and or product that's worth paying for, and isn't a royal pain in the ass to use, or, whatever, then you're one step in the right direction in, quote, countering piracy. And this goes double for you, EA. Though, let's get one thing straight here. Piracy is never going to be eliminated. The only true way to eliminate piracy is to eliminate the need to steal something. And by this logic, that would mean that the world would be at peace, and everyone has everything they want. And this in itself is completely impossible, meaning that eliminating piracy is also completely impossible. So, it's a real pain in the ass. I mean, I'm not saying piracy's, I'm not saying, hey, go pirate shit if, EA is being the royal douchebags that they are, because they are being royal douchebags, or if you can't stand Ubisoft's DRM anti-piracy bullshit. No, I'm not saying go pirate shit, because that's a bad thing regardless. There really isn't anything that you can do as a legitimate customer to deal with their anti-piracy tactics. I mean, it's understandable that these companies want to prevent their shit from being stolen, especially in an age where people can, hack and download and all that other good stuff. But there are ways to do it, at least, kind of do it without completely shafting over your legitimate customer base. DRM is not a good way to deal with piracy, because for one, it's inconvenient to people who legitimately buy the game, and it's also an inconvenience to people who cannot meet the requirements to play those games. There are people who have really shitty internet connections. I mean, Cold has tended to have really shitty internet connections at one time, dropping out of calls and stuff. And if heaven help if he ever has to play, a game with DRM in it, because you fucking have to restart the game every goddamn time his internet goes out, and it goes out pretty frequently from what I remember. And it's really, I don't really have wording for it. It's inconvenient. I mean, what happened to serial codes and whatnot that they used to do before the internet came about? That's usually how they fought piracy, is that they had the fucking serial codes on the CDs. I mean, yeah, I suppose hackers can hack those out and distribute them if they wanted to or something. That's probably why Ubisoft and all these others are going to these kind of inconvenient lengths. But really, you got Ubisoft, EA, all those other companies. There is no viable way to eliminate piracy. People legitimately or otherwise are going to steal from you. I mean, there are some real assholes out there who who'll steal from you regardless of intent. And then there are some who download a pirated copy of your game because they want to test it, or whatever. It's not legitimate. It's a bad thing still. It's still stealing, but the point is that you can't stop it. You will never be able to stop it as long as any human being has a desire to want something and they want it that badly. They're going to take it by any means possible. And the only way to truly eliminate piracy and theft is to eliminate need. And you cannot do that. No one can. Anyways, we'll go on to our last topic. That's not the right button. Our last topic, which is used games. Ding! Oh hey, instant drawing. The wonders of technology. Anyways, used games. Everyone has bought a used game. They're usually cheaper, and in most cases the only thing you can get once a new generation of systems and games takes over, or if all the new copies are sold out in store. Outside the business angle, used games are also used as gifts handed down by family or friends. Your friend next door finished beating that one game you've always wanted, and he doesn't want it anymore, so he gives it to you since he'll never play it again. There's also garage sales, swap meets, flea markets, etc., 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 so it's not just GameStop and various gaming stores that deals with the old used game market. Now, why do some people in the game industry have a total hissy fit regarding used games? Well, the usual answer is because it cuts into our profits. Though, let's take a look at this logically now. Answer this question. How do used games become used games?